Most High God, please block anybody trying to interfere with this reading and this video. Do step in and deliver your messages to we, your children. Thank you. I plugged out my iPad from charging and it's still charging. The charging cord is still plugged in, but I plugged out the cord from the plug and it's still charging. Interesting. So Most High, what do you want to do today? I have a piece of foil paper on my tooth to help me keep my garlic tincture in the damaged tooth because the back bit is like almost completely broken away. So it's not really, I know this is not staying. The garlic is falling out. Today is my first day trying it, so let's see how it goes. I have to make sure that the foil is not too sharp for my tongue. Okay, Most High. What are we doing today? What are we doing today? What are we doing today? This is another number that I made, y'all. That's what it looks like in the back. I've been on my crochet grind. I made this neck piece. I made these earrings. And I don't want my hair to be too tight right now. I can't be bothered. Okay, I'll take that. My hair is looking rough. Okay, one. All right. Let's see what God is up to this time. Because it's like every time I show up, you already know. It's become the norm. And some shit's about to go down. I'm the type of woman that when I wake up in the morning and my foot touch the ground, the evil people them say, "Oh shit, she's up." Ah, I've been thinking about the devil. Those of you who know my theory on the devil would know that I believe that God and the devil are one. They are the same. I don't believe that the devil is a separate entity that's competing with God for souls or power or dominion or anything. Okay? Because the Bible, our ancestors left word in the Bible telling us that God created good and evil. God is the author of good and evil. And God saw that it was good. Because life itself is based on duality. If you don't experience one of the dualities, you will have no real appreciation or recognition of the other. So in order to fully appreciate the light, you must experience darkness. In order for you to experience darkness, you must first experience the light. In order for you to appreciate happiness, you must know what pain or sadness feels like. In order for you to appreciate pain, you must, because some people like pain, you must know what having no pain feel like. In order for you to appreciate being up, you must know what it's like to be down. In order for you to appreciate having, you must know what it's like to not have. Duality. Okay? It's balance. Now, I know the philosophy that's prevalent in the world teaches us that Satan is so evil and Satan is the enemy. All these type of things. But what is Satan really? Satan is an energy. That's the name that we give to negative energy, evil energy. Okay, Satan, aka devil, same thing as far as I'm aware. Okay, I'm hearing yeah. So a lot of people blame the devil. Sorry. A lot of people blame the devil, or they blame Satan for the negative things that happen in their life. And we've been taught to blame the devil, aka Satan, for the negative things that happen in our life. But when we really look at Satan, aka devil, in a minute way, like let's look at it carefully. It's a thought or an idea. The idea may have come from within yourself, or it may have come from somebody around you. You may hear an evil idea on the TV, radio, or maybe somebody sent the idea to you telepathically. So it's not your thought. You didn't conjure, you didn't manifest that thought yourself. Somebody else sent the thought to your head. Okay, so really and truly, it's just a thought or idea. Devil energy, satanic energy, it's a thought or idea. And until we accept the thought and manifest that evil deed, it's just a thought, just an idea. So the devil is not our enemy, really, in my opinion. The devil is like a tempter or an instigator, but you don't have to take the idea on. You see where the power begin and stop. So we like to blame the devil for this and blame the devil for that, but if your daughter didn't accept the idea and manifest it, it would have just been an idea. If your son didn't accept the idea and manifest it, it would have been just an idea or a thought. If your father or mother or uncle or brother or cousin or sister or grandma or grandpa or whoever or you or me didn't accept the idea and manifest the idea, it would have just been a thought or just an idea. We give power to that thought and that idea when we do the action, the evil action. So really and truly, we need to take accountability for accepting these evil thoughts or ideas and giving them life. It's not the devil's fault, because I could tell you jump over a cliff. But unless you don't want to jump over the cliff, you're not going to jump over the cliff. I could tell you jump in front of a moving train, a bullet train. And if you don't want to do that, you're not going to do that. It's the same with devil energy. Because you know, if you jump in front of a fast moving train, you're going to hurt yourself and possibly even die. If you jump over a cliff, you're going to hurt yourself and possibly even die. So who's to be blamed? The one who gave you the idea or the thought, or you who accepted and manifested the idea or thought? Stop blaming the devil for your choices. You had a choice. Stop blaming demons for your choices. Stop blaming other people for your choices. You knew it was a bad idea. That's why you hid. You hid everything about that idea. You didn't want to tell anybody. You didn't want anybody to know what you were about to do or what you're thinking to do or what you're planning to do because you know it's a bad thing. You knew. You knew you were wrong. That's why you hid. That's why you tried to keep it secret, even until now. Stop blaming the devil. You had a choice. You chose to do the wrong thing. Stop blaming demons. Stop blaming others. Because you had a choice. And you chose to do the wrong thing. The devil is doing God's work. All tempters, all those who implant the ideas, they're all doing God's work. Even though it's a bad idea, they're doing God's work. Because what you do with the idea, what you do with the suggestion, what you do with the advice shows you and others some very important facts about who you are. You could have said no. Because you knew it was bad. Whatever your reason is for saying yes, it's irrelevant. You said yes. So take accountability for whatever the end results of those choices were or are. You could have said no. Stop blaming others for the choices you chose to make. Stop blaming the devil for the choices you chose to make. Because even if you find yourself in a situation where you are so tempted, you can pray and ask God for deliverance from those thoughts if you want to. And even if you don't know God and you don't believe in God, you can pray and ask for deliverance from something. You could even make it your first time talking to God. You had a choice. So take accountability. There's none but yourself to blame. No matter the repercussion, you had a choice. Stop blaming others. I don't care if the repercussion meant that you'd have been homeless, you'd have been penniless, you'd have been dead. You made a choice. I don't care if the repercussion meant that you'd be lonely, you would lose something that you worked for years for. Whatever the repercussion is, you should have taken the repercussion, because that would have put you on the path to something even greater. It was a test. You were tempted. So the devil doesn't work against God. The devil works with God. The devil does God's work. You can either choose this or choose that. It's up to you. You're creating your future. You're writing the story of your life with every choice that you make. No matter who planted the idea, no matter who gave you the idea, you have to give the idea life for it to actually take effect on your overall well-being. If you didn't accept and manifest it, it wouldn't be affecting your life. It wouldn't be a factor in your life. It would have remained just a thought and a memory. I want to add some pizzazz. I knew there was something missing. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home. To be me, to be me, unapologetically me, unapologetically me. Yes, I feel like me. Right. So yeah, I had to break down this devil thing because it's like we need to normalize taking accountability. It's a healthy practice. Accountability. It doesn't matter what has happened. If you got invited to a party, you didn't want to go, but you go anyway because people were forcing you. Or maybe your man or your woman was gonna go and you just wanted to go to see if they were gonna cheat and all that, and then you go to the party and some craziness happened to you. It's your fault. Your spirit told you not to go. One spirit told you not to go. One spirit said go. You chose to listen to the one that said go. You go, and something bad happened to you. You chose accountability. The choices we make tell us who we are. The choices people make, it tells us who they are as well. The choices people make tells us everything we need to know about who they are. No matter the reason for their choice. Well, it kind of matters, but not much. The reason for your choice is very small because there's choice, then there's consequence or cause and effect, you know. So, regardless of why you chose to do what you do or why we choose to do what we do, there is something that happens as a result of whatever choice we make. But whatever choice we make, it says a lot about who we are psychologically. So instead of trying to blame others, what we need to do is check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Try to blame someone else. It's not going to work in the future because people are getting smarter. A lot more people are becoming truth seekers. And as we become truth seekers, we will find the truth. And the truth is, you cannot blame anyone for your choices. It doesn't matter what you are afraid of that inspired you to make that choice. You chose. So now deal with the results of your choice. Take accountability. Like a big man or a big woman. No matter what age you are. It's your future that's at stake. Because when you make the wrong choice, you're the one who are going to suffer the results of that choice. It's not the person who told you to make the choice. Their suffering is very minute. You're the one who has to sit in that energy with that choice, with that comment on your record, your life's story. And if people judge you based on that part of your story, how can you blame them? Because the Bible does say judge not, but the truth is we all have opinions. It's natural to formulate an opinion. Whether it's right or wrong, that's another story. But we all have opinions, even though the Bible say, our ancestors, I should say, left message say, judge not. But what I'm talking about is nothing to do with you and other people. It's mostly to do with you and your spiritual path. It's to do with you and your destiny. So if you don't like where you ended up in life, it's because of the choices that you made in the past. Because somebody could tell you to do this and tell you to do that. But if you don't choose to do these things, your story would have been different today. The thing is, humans have this misconception that as long as they're hiding from other people, nobody knows what they did. But justice is ultimately handed out from the spiritual realm, and there's nowhere for us to hide from the observers in the spiritual realm. That's why it's better to have integrity, whether someone's watching, someone in the physical is watching or not, because it's spiritually, at least God is always watching. There may be angels, there may be ancestors, it may be the person that you're targeting, ancestors that's watching you in the spirit realm. But because you don't see them with these eyes, because you don't perceive them with your senses, you think nobody's seeing you. But even if it's only God, because God is everywhere all the time, seeing and knowing everything, even if it's only God who sees you, somebody sees you. And God is the ultimate judge, jury, witness, liar, and executioner. So nobody else needs to see. And God can't not see. Are you understanding? So if you do the right thing for the right reasons, as more times than not, your future will be brighter. Your future will be better. Your future will be one that you can be proud of. If in the past you were doing the right thing for the right reason, your present day would be better. Your present self would have been one that you could be proud of your past self. your present self would have been proud of your past self and the choices that you made if you were making good choices, because good choices would bring you to a good life, a good future. Even if you don't have everything or everyone that you want, you'd have joy, you'd have peace, you'd have a clear conscience. And you won't have people on your ass wanting to take revenge because of something that you did. And you wouldn't have God on your ass making sure that you walk into your karma because of something bad that you did. If you do the crime, you're going to do the time. The physical police, they're not the real police as we see. The spiritual police, they're the real police. Just as when we do good, God and the universe conspires to bless us. That's why, in spite of all the fight that came towards me, I overcame. This tooth is a crazy testimony of God and how just God is. The whole back of the tooth is broken off, bruv. And to look at me from the front, you'll never know, because I didn't deserve these things. So the whole universe conspire to help me keep my beauty. And if the front bit start wearing away, it doesn't mean that it's because I deserve it. It's because God has another plan. But it's been a year now, and this tooth right here in the front of my mouth, the one right next to the big tooth, it's supposed to be fucked up right now. But God and the whole universe conspired and said, no, not this time. Y'all need to stop abusing Chanel. And I'm going to show you that I'm God. I'm going to show you just how much power I have as God. I'm going to show you what being God mean. I'm sure all them used to get together and talk about just wait and see this teeth out. You like this? You like to grin? Yeah. Yes, I do. Look, fingerprint. Your fingerprint is a unique feature. They say that no two people have the same fingerprint. So your fingerprint is something unique to you. It's just like your spiritual print. This is a testimony of my spiritual print. The judge, the jury, and the executioner decided she doesn't deserve to go to jail. Jail being my front tooth being fucked up and ugly, rotting away. So God gave me the solution. God said, just keep it clean and stuff it with some garlic, because the garlic kills the bacteria. Bacteria is what causes the damage to continue. take place. So if you ever come around me and I smell like garlic, it's because it's my treatment. It's my medicine. But fingerprint is something unique to you. So in this case, we're talking about our spiritual print. Whatever I'm being accused of, my fingerprints aren't there. So God, seeing and knowing everything, has decided it's time to put these people in check, because they've been doing what they've been doing to me for a very long time, offending me. And now God is ready to defend me, because God has given them time to correct themselves, and God see that these people will never stop. So if they don't stop, God say, fine. If that's how you want to live your life attacking Chanel. But I'm going to keep blessing Chanel as long as Chanel keep doing what Chanel is supposed to do. As long as Chanel keep making good decisions that's pleasant in God's sight, Chanel will keep being blessed and protected from harm and danger. Anything that happens to me is what God wants to happen to me. Because I don't go around offending people. I have never been that person. So all those who have claimed that I have done this and done that to them, they lied. God knows that they lied. And now it's time that our case go to the Supreme Court, the real Supreme Court. Because God's been observing them for a very long time, doing these things to me over and 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 years, 18 years worth of offenses these people have committed against me. Telling lies, listening to bad advice, choosing to make those horrible decisions. They know I don't deserve it. Whatever they're blaming me for, I'm not guilty of. At the bottom of the deck, we got political or government. So we got fingerprint and we got the politics of it all. The details. The devil is in the details. Let's see, let's dig. So we got the details, the politics of the situation, whatever we choose to do, the fingerprint of someone, the spiritual fingerprint of someone. So it's like using me as an example. Everything that these people have done to me, even though they keep it quiet between a group of people that they think they're safe to offend me around, spiritually, every time that they've thought and planned and spoke and executed these offenses against me, their spiritual imprint is on me throughout that time frame. So if somebody was to pull cards on the situation, as long as they have the authority to pull cards, they will get the right information. Because for a real oracle or tarot card reader, the cards never lie. Because God direct and give us the information from the Akashic records. So where there is no video proof, there's no text message proof, there's no eyewitnesses who would come and testify on my behalf, all that shit is unnecessary, because spiritually, their fingerprint is all over my case. And it's the same for you if somebody has wronged you. You don't have to have the physical evidence. And this is why I prefer to even pay attention to the spiritual courts rather than these physical courts, because these physical courts are courts of injustice. And the spiritual courts are courts of justice. Like with my tooth. The back of the tooth is gone. I'm tempted to show what's happening in the back of my tooth, but I don't even think that those who are trying to hurt me deserve the pleasure of seeing it. I want them to look at the glory of God on this tooth here and be mad, be angry, be upset. That's your sentence. That's your punishment. Hate some more. Let your heart beat out your chest with rage. Let God show up and show out and show off in your motherfucking faces and make you look like fools. Because you think you're just so powerful. They even contaminate my milk and my sugar and whatnot now with something that helps to break down the enamel of my teeth. I can feel it. My gums get sensitive when I consume whatever they have hidden it in. And from the time I realize that it's in there, I just throw away the rest of it, because I don't want my teeth to be rotten. That don't make no sense. So y'all do all the things that you do to make me look lazy, make me look jobless. You want to make me ugly. You don't want me to have any friends because apparently I'm just such a horrible individual that nobody wants to be my friend. No, y'all don't deserve to be my friend. I tried being your friend. I tried being your family. Y'all are not worthy to be my friends or family. And anybody who wants to know the truth about anybody's case, this is the new policing. Involving tarot cards and oracle decks in your investigations is the new policing. Welcome to the new world. You can find out whatever you want to know as long as you have the authority to do so. As long as God has called you, God will give you the answers. You'll be accurate as fuck like me. Or even more. You don't need video evidence and text message and all that crap to know what God needs you to know. You need to connect to the divine. Get your tools and do your investigation. Use your magic for something positive. Or else you can keep on joining in with people to hurt innocent people and keep fucking getting punished for doing so. Because God don't want to hear, oh, I didn't know it was a lie. How many times have I come on here and said that I'm innocent? So why are you going to believe what they say and not listen to what I say and find that middle ground and check out the facts? It's because you don't want to know. Because it serves you to believe the lies. You're getting paid. Or you got friends. You got community. You choose friends, community, and pay over the truth. You chose. So when you're getting punished, remember, you chose. Because I am innocent of probably 99.9% of the charges that people have been out there saying about me. Because if I did it, I'm going to tell you straight. I did that. And if I need to apologize at that time, recognizing that I was wrong, I will do that. But offending people, knowingly offend people, is not something that Chanel Green does. So let's see the politics. And let's see, we got the New Life. We got 1,000. I need to find out what that's representing. And we got 150. Fluent in multiple languages. Criminal. Changed nationality. Food. I'm feeling 2 more. Boring life. And then we got the 250 units. So now let's find out what these numbers represent first of all, so we can make sense. And then we got new job. Okay, so what do these numbers represent, please, Most High? Judge popped out. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. Natural judge. You know what that is? It says natural path. That's talking about naturality. That's talking about nature. Nature's judge, aka God, the spirit realm, karma. So the numbers are representing the judge. So let's see, we got political or of government. That's their new life. And then we got the judge stepping in at 1,000. Then the judge says 150. Fluent in multiple languages, criminal. So God want you to know I'm fluent. God want you to know it's fluent in all the different ways that people commit crimes. Multiple languages. This could be physical language, word magic, script magic when you write it down, technological magic when you text that shit, telepathic magic when you send wicked thoughts to people who don't deserve that shit, energetic magic where you're doing that Reiki negative energy shit to people's pictures and whatever else you do. All the ways that you have offended, all the ways that you have committed crimes against people. Me, talking to the people that fight against me, and anybody else who fights against anybody else. All the ways that you have committed these crimes, even if you have thought wicked thoughts in your mind. God says, I know all the languages of criminality. So then we got changed nationality. So what's your nationality? Your nationality is where you come from. Ooh. Your place of birth. So speaking, because this is a spiritual reading, so everything here is going to be spiritual, okay? So your nationality, remember last time, I think, or 2 readings ago, God was saying that our natural nature is that of good. We are natural pastors. We are natural representations of God. Good God. So God is like a parent. A good parent will tell their child, because children do what they see their parents do. God is the author of good and evil. But any good parent will tell their child, I see you taking on my ways, but don't take on my bad ways. Take on my good ways only. So you changed your nationality, your national spirituality, your foundational spirituality from that of a good person to a wicked person. Okay? God saw you do that. And then we got food. So what is food representing? So the government or the politics, it would be the details of the situation. And we got new life. So that's you changing your nationality. You become someone else. You're more in that devil energy. You're more on that demon time. And you tell yourself that you're happy doing these wicked things for these insignificant reasons. Because even if you're getting thousands of dollars or pounds to do something bad to somebody who don't deserve it, that money becomes insignificant as a punishment for your crime. So even if you're a practitioner and somebody comes to you with a story and want you to do some wicked shit to somebody, before you accept their testimony as true, it would do you well to confirm the authenticity of that testimony before you engage in carrying out that mission. Or else you can get it too. Matter of fact, you will get it too. And I'm seeing will in all capital letters. God said you will get it too. So, regarding this new life, God is here to judge everyone on our fingerprint, everywhere that our fingerprint has been found. Whether you thought something wicked to somebody or you did something wicked to somebody. Okay? The judge is here. So God, we got 1,000 and we got 150. So it's like if your crime is big or if your crime is small, or if your crime is very noticeable, or if it's minutely noticeable, God wants you to know it is fluent in all languages of criminality. God say you've changed. So now we got food to boring life. Let me find out what food represent. And then we got 250. So God say it's the judge of major crimes and it's the judge of very small crimes. Maybe that's why they managed to get some of my teeth to get fucked up, because before I really became conscious of the boundaries of right and wrong, I was doing things that were probably wrong, but no major crimes, because if I know I'm doing wrong, I'm not doing it. But if I don't believe I'm doing wrong, then that's all I got to go off of. And God will know where I'm at in my stage of mental development too. And because God is a just judge, God will judge me accordingly. God will make me suffer my sentence or give me my punishment to fit my crime and the details surrounding my crime. The devil in the details. So, food. What's this food word representing? So, producer. So, you produced a boring life. So, when you changed how God made you in the first place, that's what made your life get so horrible. Now you're living a life that you don't like. So, food is clarified by producer. What you did, it produced a boring life. So, where you thought that you were going to do all these evil things to hurt people so you can get what you want, and you thought that that would just make you so happy, you failed the tests every time. You weren't supposed to say yes to these evil thoughts and ideas. You were supposed to say no. And then you wouldn't be living a boring life. People would call you boring, like they call me goody two shoes and boring, but I'm genuinely happy. My life is genuinely magical without me having to lift a goddamn finger. I get justice for the wicked things that are done to me without me having to go out and seek that justice myself. So by me choosing to walk the path of righteousness, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I try damn hard consciously to do what is right. So by me walking the path of righteousness, I'm walking straight into the blessings that God have for me. All day, every day. Even in the middle of my storms, I have peace. I have happiness. I have clarity of mind. And when I don't, I pray. I let God know how I'm feeling and ask for what I don't have. When it get that bad, and it hardly ever get that bad, for me to be praying and asking God for things. I don't pray and ask God for things, you know. I do not ask God for, most of my prayers are prayers of thanks. Because God sought it all out. I see it in my life. I'm a walking, living, breathing testimony of how God works. What people call boring is making good life decisions. That's what this society has taught us to label as boring. You're so boring. You're so safe. Yet they're not going to go out on the motorway where cars are driving at 60, 70, 80, 90 miles per hour and walk right next to the fucking cars. They would want to be safe on the motorway because they can see the danger. But what a lot of people are doing is getting involved in spiritual warfare and don't have a clue how the spirit realm actually works. A lot of y'all know that you can use magic and use this and that and tell lies and do this and that and manipulate a situation so that it could work out in your favor. So you think. It works for a little while, but ultimately, you will have cause to be upset, disappointed, and cry. You will lose more than you gain. That's spiritual law. So many people out there practicing magic for so long. And these things that I'm just now coming, I always believed in magic, right? But I've only gotten the confirmation since these people started messing with me. And that's only since maybe 2008. And I've come to learn a whole bunch of rules that people who have been practicing magic have been ignoring all their life. They call themselves spiritual, but yet you can't see in the spirit realm. Y'all ain't spiritual. If you were spiritual, you would be able to correlate your actions and the events that take place in your life and around you that affect you as a result of your actions. You are not spiritual. You're something else. The spirit realm is policed more than the physical realm. The spirit police can't be bribed or lied to or manipulated like these police in the physical realm. These police in the physical realm are jokers. For too long, y'all are getting involved in things now. You want to feel like you're just the most powerful magician in the world, and you don't know the first thing about the repercussions of what you do. Even practitioners who just listen to people come with stories and believe the story. And give the client whatever they want to do, whatever they want to do based on whatever they said. You only heard one side of the story. Do you know exactly how huge your responsibility is in you being a high priest or a high priestess or a voodoo priest or a voodoo priestess? Do you know how huge your responsibility is? You're like an extension of the spiritual police. You are an extension of the spiritual police. So just as police would have to get the two sides of a story, you hear the person that came seeking your help. You are supposed to then go and consult the gods on the authenticity of that person's claims before taking their money and provoking the gods or whatever deities that you work with to commit crimes against innocent people. Are you too money hungry? You're fucking up your whole practice because you're being irresponsible and money hungry. You're destroying your reputation. Voodoo priest and voodoo priestess. High priest and high priestess. You're destroying your reputation with your irresponsible approach to these claimants that come to you. In a court, you have a claimant and you have a defendant. And in many cases, when the claimant come to you, excuse me, the person that they're complaining about, they're actually guilty. But you see me, God put me in all of y'all sights to teach y'all something because of my innocence. You see, when y'all take these people money to fuck with me and y'all get fucked up for doing it, God is teaching y'all to be careful. Because not everybody is guilty. And if you're going to be irresponsible with your position, your God-appointed position of high priest, high priestess, voodoo priest, voodoo priestess, then God is going to have to take some kind of action against you. Because your position in society is not a small one. You're basically the judges. We are the judges before the people reach the spirit realm. So we are like the small claims court. And when they reach God, that supreme court judge. Y'all say you're spiritual. So you should be more in tune with the rules of the spirit realm. Y'all are being careless for money, and it's going to cost you. If you have been selected by nature to be a real spiritual person, you need to take that position seriously. You are an official of God's government. If you don't want the job, say you don't want the job. I don't know how that go. But you can't take the job and be operating like how these little idiot judges do when it comes to the laws of the land. That can't go on in a God realm. So as much as people like to look at spiritual people like us and just see negativity, it's not who we are. It's not what we represent. If they would talk to us, they would know these things. But instead of talking to people, people like to just fear and stand off and gossip and listen to other people talking their shit and allow themselves to be infected with these lies. To be a voodoo priestess or a voodoo priest is a very high honor. You are granted powers that the average human being does not have access to. You are granted access to knowledge and levels of being that the average person never experienced and probably never will. So who are you? Why do you think God gave you that gift? The judges and the police of the land are not doing their job. That's why we are being appointed and anointed. If somebody deserves to get in a car accident, then by all means, go ahead, because you have the authority to make these things happen. But y'all been trying to do these things to me, and everything fail. And yet y'all keep trying rather than recognizing what nature is trying to teach you. My fingerprints need to be on negativity for these evil things to happen to me. But because my physical fingerprint nor my spiritual imprint is on anything that people are coming to you and telling you about me, that's the reason why every time you try to do some crazy, wicked shit to me, it fails. It's not justice. It's criminality. When the defendant is innocent. Maybe y'all haven't learned these lessons because there's not a lot of people in this world who actually take the kind of time and put the kind of effort into doing what is right like I do. We are far and few in between. Maybe that's why y'all haven't learned these lessons yet. I'm going to assume that that's why, because we learn through experience. Because there's no real teachers here to teach us these things. Because everybody's interaction with nature and with magic and with other people is different. So you have to understand yourself, how nature speaks to you, how God communicates with you, and how you affect other people. Okay? So because there's not a lot of innocent people around, maybe that's why you haven't learned how your magic, manifests when it's being casted on an innocent person. a purely innocent person. Because I'm not just a little bit innocent. If you check the files, you would know this. It's been too many years that y'all been making the same mistake over and over and over and over and over and over and bomber clot over again. Check your files once and for all, and let these people that are coming to you and lying to you about me, let them go find somebody else. And if y'all are your brother's keeper and your sister's keeper, you would tell the Voodoo Priest and Voodoo Priestess Association about beings like myself and the experience that you had when you were given the task to cast a spell on me. You need to tell each other. You need to tell each other the truth. Because if you don't, God is going to hold you accountable for your lying tongue. Be careful. Accountability. Check the facts. Stop allowing these people to come and lie to you about me. Before you cast any more spells on me, check and make sure that what they're telling you is the truth. And before you do your check, you need to clear the airways like I do before I start my reading. I ask God to block anybody trying to interfere with this reading because I don't want nothing to corrupt God's message to me because it's too important. Because if I get it wrong and I'm giving it to y'all, I'm making all y'all think and do the wrong thing. And woe unto false prophets. Whether they're knowingly false prophets or unknowingly false prophets. I'm not exempt from the law. So therefore, I take responsibility by clearing the airways before I start dealing with the cards. Because I know that they are powerful magicians. Last time is 11,000 people I heard got together, combined their magical powers together to try and corrupt the message, to discredit me. So I know I'm being targeted by very powerful, magical people. And especially if you're working on my case, if somebody bring my case to you, you're going to be targeted and watched by these same powerful people, and they're going to try to corrupt your message. So before you do your checks with your cards or whatever you use, clear the airways and ask God or whatever you pray to block any interference. Because if you don't do that and you get a corrupted message, because they're always trying to corrupt the message when it comes to me. If you don't clear the airways so that you can get a clear message and you get a corrupted one and you choose to listen to the corrupted one, you're going to pay for that. You will be held accountable for that, magician. High priest, high priestess, voodoo priest, voodoo priestess. You will be held accountable for that. If you don't want to lose your rank, if you don't want to lose power, if you don't want to lose things, do what you're doing properly. Due process. Because not everybody coming to you is telling you the truth about whoever they're complaining about. And if you can't manage the job, come out of this line of business. Y'all weren't given these powers for you to use them at your own will, how you want to and when you want to and all these things. You were given these powers because God is looking for some people to use. God is trying to establish its government. And you have been chosen. You have been called. If you don't take your job seriously, that opportunity will be revoked. Because God can't trust you with that much power. If you want to be lazy about it, it will be revoked. Because this is not a joke. You do things that actually affect people's lives. So it's not a joke. It's not something to be taken lightly. It is your duty to check the authenticity of the claimants who come to you, to protect yourself and those close to you. Because if your money get affected, if your reputation get affected, everybody who depend on you, their lives get affected too. If your health gets affected, you can't provide for the people who depend on you, so their lives get affected too. God chose you for the position that you're in, just like God chose me for the position that I am in. And God wouldn't give me this much power if I wasn't found worthy. God wouldn't give you that much power if up till now you have not been found worthy. You've been found worthy. That's why you have the position that you have. You need to respect spiritual law to keep it. Because God don't want the corruption that's in the land to come into the spirit realm and into the new world that we're building. New earth. It is our mission to do things the correct way. That's the objective going forward. So we got a lot of things to fix and a lot of things to change. We need to start to learn how to get it right and stop playing. Human beings don't have to appoint you for you to know that you are important. Just look at your abilities. That tells you how important you are. And God didn't make a mistake in choosing you. Only you can ruin your chances by not taking your position seriously. So however you used to do things, whatever you need to change, you better change it. Your future depends on it. Not everybody that come to you and complain about somebody is telling you the truth. Some of them lie. And when they lie and you put a spell on whoever they come and complain about, you also pay the price, my love. Because it is law. You didn't do your due diligence. You just believe them and take their money and say, okay, here you go. That's not okay. It's time for that to stop. And God put me in the way. And see how many thousands of y'all have crossed my path? That day I had 1.5 thousand viewers. Usually my numbers are like 38 and 73. Sometimes it might go up to 400 and something, but never 1,000 watching me at one time. But it's because they all knew that they were waiting for me to come on so that they can combine their magical strength to try and corrupt my message, to try and diminish my reputation as being an accurate tarot or oracle reader. That's why there were so many of them watching the show on that day. Look how many of them had to come up against what I'm working with. And they thought they were sure to win this time. We tell them, come bring 1 million people next time. And then bring 10 million. And then 100 million. All y'all gonna still turn away the losers. Spoiler alert. You rise up against the God in me. Y'all think that I'm worshiping God for fake? I'm a God woman for real, man. And I'm innocent. So God would go even harder to protect me from the likes of you. You who rise up against me unlawfully, unjustly. You're wasting your time and you're ruining your future and your reputation coming up against me. Use your tools and get the facts about me. Clear the airways so that these people can't corrupt your message, because I'm being targeted by very, 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 very high level magicians, voodoo priests, voodoo priestesses, high priests and priestesses. The best in the world that they can find. Because imagine they bring 11,000 and still fail. Made them look dumb, all of them. And if you bring 10 million or 500 million, God gonna send y'all the same way. God gonna send y'all packing the same way. Ashamed and defeated. Because y'all ain't coming up against me. Y'all are coming up against God. But come. Come. But you gonna pay. Come and test us, but you're gonna pay. As long as you're willing to pay the price for fucking with me, you'll be all right. You won't be all right, but you'll be all right. Use your tools and get the facts. It'll save you so much time, so much pain. Clear the airways so that you don't get a corrupted message. Because the people who are trying to corrupt my message, I'm sure they're going to do some kind of spell to make anybody that's trying to find out real information on me, they're going to try and muddle up your message. Duh. So before you do that, you need to ask God to clear the airways. Just like I do. And that render them powerless. Powerless. 11,000 of them. Powerless. God gave me all the tools that I needed. My intuition was sharp. God never failed us yet, and God never will. Cut out the bullshit and stop wasting time, bro. Get to the nitty-gritty of whether I'm innocent or I'm guilty. Am I guilty of doing the things that they're accusing me of? That's what you need to go check. Am I guilty of doing the things that they have been coming to you and accusing me of? And make sure you check for everybody else after me too. Going forward, you need to check the authenticity of those claimants who come to you for your services. You are an officer of the law. Voodoo priest, voodoo priestess, high priest, high priestess. You are all officers of God's law. Don't make nobody corrupt your badge. Your badge is your reputation. Your pay is your good fortune. Not just the money. It's the blessings that follow you for helping to keep balance in the earth. By serving karma to those who deserve. I am not one of those people. Check the authenticity of the claims that people have been making about me before you do anything to me. Take your position seriously. So your lives are boring because y'all made bad choices in the past. God cut the steam from your life. God cut the wind in your sails because you thought that you'd be rewarded for doing wickedness. Rewards for doing wickedness is very short-lived. Y'all need to look back and see the things that you gained in this life through wickedness. What became of those things or those people? If you've ever stolen somebody's man through lies and manipulation and potions or whatever, however y'all be choosing to do what you do, whatever wickedness. If you've ever managed to take somebody, man or woman, from them through these evil means, what were the end results of your time with that man or woman? How did that end up? If you have ever stolen land or car or clothes or jewelry from anybody, What was the end result? If you sold these things and you got money for it, what did you use the money to do? And what was the end result of that thing that you bought with those ill-gotten gains? Look back. Life has been teaching us. The law, spiritual law, has been active. Is we not paying attention? What happened to these things that you get with this thief in money? Or these stolen things, these stolen people. If you ever stole somebody's child, the ancestors left the story of King David. King David sent the lady's husband into war so that he could die. And he got the man's wife, and he loved her, and he got her pregnant and thought, yeah, we're having a baby. And God took that child's life, a life for a life. And that broke King David. Mental prison King David went into. Prison of sadness, disappointment, guilt. These are spiritual prisons. This is how God put us in prison, as well as losing physical things like property and money, or you might lose your wife or your husband. You lose people that you love through death or some kind of illness. You see, you have to watch the people that you love suffer. These are all punishments from spiritual law. This is how sentencing in the spiritual world look. Maybe you wanted this job and you couldn't get it. God make sure you didn't get it because of something that you did. It's not every bad thing that happened to us that is directly related to something that we did, because people around us have their own motives as well. So they'll bring bad energy to us, but some of the things that we suffer is as a direct result of something bad that we did in the past. Recognize these things and you will learn a lot about how nature works and why our ancestors urge us to do the right thing for the right reason. They're trying to save us. They've walked the walk. They've made the mistakes. They see how nature responded because they were paying attention, and they wrote it in the Bible and left it as teachings for us. And we choose not to believe. Look at your own life and you see how the words in the Bible reflects in your life today, because the God of yesterday that was walking with and taking care of and sustaining the lives of our ancestors how many thousands or millions of years ago is the same God today. The law didn't change. Spiritual law never changed. Official spiritual law that God put never changed. The ones that mankind implemented, those change. Because usually some fuckery. So they can't stand. So eventually the people rise up and overthrow those stupid rules. But God's law never changed. Psalms 1. Blessed is the man or woman who walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, Nor stand in the way of sinners. It's like, if you want to do that, go do that. Nor sit in the seat of the scornful, but his and her delight is in the law of the Lord. And in that law doth he and she meditate day and night. They shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth fruit in its season. Whatsoever them type of people do, it will prosper. The wicked are not so. But are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. The wicked cannot stand in the congregation of the righteous. God knows the way of the righteous, but the ways of the ungodly, the wicked, them shall perish. God said, oh, you're going to want to stop doing wickedness. The way I set the law is set up so sweet that by the time you get to see the correlation of your action and how the universe respond, you're not going to want to commit these wicked acts anymore. When you get burned enough times, oh, you start to practice righteousness. You will want to know about righteousness then. The problem is that so far, your eyes, y'all have been shielded from seeing the truth of how action and reaction, choice and consequence. When you realize how your actions affect your life and the life of those around you in a negative way, how your wicked actions, let me say that, how your wicked actions affect your own destiny and the fate of the people around you who you love, you don't want to try to do the right thing. The only thing that's stopping you is because you don't know. You don't know why your child got sick. You don't know why your child got shot. You don't know why you got into that car accident. You don't know why you lost your job. You don't know why you lost that money. You don't know why your house burnt down, because you're not relating it to your own wicked deeds. But as soon as you start to see how those two things are related, you're going to start to make different choices. That's a guarantee. God already set it. God don't have to do much. God could just sit back and watch us. Because even the other day I did a reading, and there's this 8,000-year-old, one of these big heads that control society. 8,000 years, God sat back and watched this motherfucker try to get revenge for some wrong that was done to his people. And it plays a big role. That story plays a big role in why society is so fucked up as it is today. Racism, it plays a big role in why racism is so prevalent and how come slavery took place and why there's so much suffering in Jamaica and Haiti and Trinidad. And yeah, 8,000 years, God has patience. But you're going to get burned. All along the way, you're going to get burned for your crimes. You're going to be punished for your crimes all along the way until you get tired of suffering. And who's causing your suffering? You, because of your own choices. You chose to be angry rather than forgiving and letting God take care of the situation, execute justice for you. Because there's nothing wrong with we executing our own justice, if we know the full details of the case, which we don't have. The devil is in the detail. Because somebody might do something, but what's the reason why they did it? Some reasons matter. Because whoever this 8,000-year-old head that have say so in society is, whatever happened is like, as far as I'm gathering, they were on the side of the one who was in the wrong. I think it might have been his mother or something like that. Something happened between his mother and his father. And they moved away from Africa, the land of the sun, and went to the Caucasus Mountain, far away from the sun. And they were there for so long that they saw their DNA change from black people to white people. And I don't know what the hell happened, but there was some resentment and whatnot going on. But whatever his mother told him, it wasn't the truth. But she fueled anger in him. And that man carried that anger for 8,000 years. And it's now he's getting tired of being vengeful. And he didn't even know that he don't have all of the facts. But yet still he suffered for every bad thing that he did throughout his bumbleclot life, because he wouldn't be getting tired if life wasn't making him suffer. If he was allowed to commit these atrocities against humanity, against the darker skinned nation, which is his family, the Jamaican people and the Haitian people, they are direct blood relatives of the politicians, the white politicians that run the world. That's what the reading was revealing. With the same yellow deck. I don't remember what it's called. But he must have been getting his ass beat every time he committed atrocities, or else he wouldn't be getting tired now. Choice and consequence. And if you've been alive for 8,000 years, how would you never take the time to really find out the truth of the matter? Why? Because you just believe your mother's word so much that mama would have never lied to me. I implore all of you to check. Everybody need to check the facts when people come to you with certain information. Because people lie a lot these days. And it's only getting worse until it gets better. People discovered the magic of lying. Excuse me. So now all the low-level magicians, that's their go-to. Even the babies. They lie to get what they want. I'm talking about the 1-year-olds and the 2-year-olds who pretend to cry to get what they want. That's lying. That is manipulation. You see how early? Even the little ones that's months old, when they want to get picked up, they just make a whole bunch of noise because they realize every time we make noise, they come and pick me up. Oh, I feel like being picked up. Wah, 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 wah. Manipulation. Check the facts. Keep yourself out of problem. Or else you will be held accountable. And when you're being held accountable, don't get mad because you failed to check the facts. Don't be mad if you failed to check the facts. And you get your ass beat for that. If you can't take the heat, stay out the kitchen. If you can't manage the demands or the responsibilities of your duties, you need to quit. Find something else that you actually could care about. Because being a voodoo priest and a voodoo priestess or a high priest or a high priestess is not a small responsibility. And even on the low level, brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, children and parents, grandparents, bosses and workers, co-worker and co-worker, check the facts. Because if you choose to believe somebody's lie, it takes you off the trajectory of your true destiny. Because if you believe a lie about someone, it cut you or cut them out of your life, and who knows the role that God put them in your life to play. But because somebody else did their checking and realized that that person is a part of your divine destiny that would have make you great, they do some shit to corrupt the relationship between you two so that they can destroy the chances of you getting that blessing. Or so they think. But they're going to try, and so you might have lost a great friend. And we can't afford to lose great friends in these times, because there's not many of them around. If you get one, consider yourself blessed. If you have one, consider yourself blessed. Because most people can't be trusted. So when you find someone who is truthful and respectable spiritually, you need to appreciate them, because there's not many people out there like that. Most people lie. They manipulate situations just to get what they want. They don't think about the other person and their justice. They're selfish. They think selfishly. And they do it without consciousness. A lot of people just do it because it's just how they trained us to live. So before they even catch themselves consciously doing this, they've already done the damage, a lot of them. They've made it the norm to just lie, manipulate to get what they want, with no kind of consideration for the other people involved in the situation. Never mind, you worked hard. And studied and got your job. They want your job, so they just gonna make up some lies on you and tell the boss. Set you up and get your position. No matter how much struggle you went through with your boyfriend or your girlfriend, they want that man or that woman now. So they don't care about your past. They're just gonna do whatever they want to, even if they have to use some magician to bend his or her will. They want him or they want her, so they're gonna do what they have to do to get him or her, period. Never mind the fact that you have a newborn baby, or you have 3, 4 children. They don't care about all that. They want him or her. That's how most people are thinking and behaving in these times. They don't care. And that is sad and dangerous for them, not just for their victims, because you gotta pay for that. You change someone's fortune, you're going to pay for that. It's just like all these people going around scamming. Not everybody thief to get their big lump sum of money. Some people actually worked hard and saved. And that's why they got so much money for you to come and see. And your eye will like, whoa. They worked hard for that. Not everybody's a thief. And you don't know what they had planned to do with that money. They could have been saving for some expensive operation. Life-saving, heart, bumper clot transplant or something. You stealing their money because you just feel like you're just the greatest scammer. And you change their fortune, maybe even cause their death because now they don't have the money to pay for them their surgery. That is on your hands. You and whoever helped you. Because now you're not only liable for theft. In this world, in this physical world, in the law, they call it second-degree murder. You didn't intentionally kill the person, but your actions caused them to lose their life. Because I wouldn't even call that death by accident. I would put you for second-degree murder. Because you were insensitive when you were stealing that money in the first place. And the amount of money that you thief, fuck you think they're saving it up for? They got children or family, loved ones that they want to look after, who have probably been looking after them. Even if they're not saving it for a surgery or anything serious like that, they have a right to show their gratitude in finances to their loved ones. Who are you to come and take that away from them? You didn't work for any of this. You didn't take care of that person one day in your life. You didn't keep their company one day in your life. So if they die and they decide to leave that money in their will for their loved ones who have been there, who have brought them days of joy, moments of joy and peace and love, they have a right to leave it to their loved ones. Who are you to come and steal it? That's a crime. That's sentimental value. Now you change these other people's fate. You not only change the fate of the person you stole from, you change the fate of the people who were destined to get that money. You gonna pay for that. Honesty is the best policy. The truth shall set us free. Put yourself in the other person's shoes. How would you like it if? Would you want justice if? Of course you would. And that's why God is going to grant justice to all of your victims, according to the details of the case. That which is known to man and not known to man, because all is known to God. So it's not like this realm where you can't prosecute a man or woman for their intentions. God knows our intentions. See, this is the real Supreme Court. Yeah, you gave them a car, but your intention was for them to have some kind of brake fail and have some kind of accident. That is a crime. You see, that's what God meant by fluent in multiple languages of criminality. Because you'd be going around saying, oh, I bought them a car, I bought them a car. Yeah, but you were hoping and praying and wishing and trying to get them to have an accident in the car and lose their life. For whatever other purpose you have after that part of the plan. God sees and knows these things, and we are held accountable. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, think no evil. Think no evil. Yeah, so that brings us to the end of this one. Thank you all so much for joining me. Until next time, lovelies, I wish us all the best. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. Are you going to be the same person that you were yesterday? Are you at least going to try to be a better version of yourself so that you could create a better future? You know, as much effort as you put in to be a better version of yourself, that's how much you're going to gain a better future. So if you put in a little bit of effort, you're going to have a little bit of a better future. If you put in plenty effort, you're going to have plenty of a better future. Don't let people talk you out of your blessing by calling you goody two shoes, intending for it to hurt your bumbleclot feelings and cuss you and tell you how you're so safe. Try to make you feel bad for making safe and sensible decisions. We need to stop that. Because when they put you on that trajectory to be adventurous and interesting, and you get in a plenty trouble for the fuckery that you choose to do, that you would have never done if you were just listening to your own self and being yourself. You're the one who have to sit in the bullshit results of it. And they're going to be somewhere laughing at you behind your back. They're not going to laugh at you in front of your face. But they will laugh at you behind your back. So stop letting other people decide who you are. Say yes when you really mean yes, and say no when you really mean no. And let your no be a no, and let your yes be a yes. And who don't like it, too bad. Because you have to suffer the consequences of the choices that you make, no matter who gave you the idea. Your future is in your hands. It has always been in your hands. Don't be afraid to suffer for the right. If you're put in a position where you have to suffer for the right, that is the choice that you're supposed to make. Because there's a gift coming for you at the end of that horrible experience. Yes, you're gonna hurt. Like, if you know that somebody deserves something and you have the opportunity to get it yourself, but you know that that person needs it more than you, let them have it. Yes, it's gonna break your heart to not have it. But at the end of that experience, there's a better something coming for you. Guaranteed. Because you sacrificed your own happiness, even though you had the power to put yourself first for the greater good. Try it. try it, sit through that disappointment, but feel proud of yourself for making a grown-up decision and watch what happens to you in the future. And I pray that you recognize that whatever takes place is as a gift for you not choosing to put yourself first when you know it was the greater good to put that other person first. You did the right thing for the right reason. Being selfish is not always the right thing. There's a time to be selfish, but there's a time to be selfless. Implement those two ways correctly, and you win in life. Just because you can do something, it don't mean that you should. Just because you have the power to do something, don't mean that you should. Be mindful about other people. Don't step on someone else just so you can live your quote unquote best life, because that's a crime. Because they want to live their best life too. The same way you want to live your best life, they want to live their best life. Work for what you want. Work honestly. And if sometimes you have to work hard, work hard. But they say work smarter, not harder. But sometimes you can't avoid working hard. Work honestly and get what you want in life. And there's not a magic spell or a witch or a jealous bitch or a jealous nigga that, because everybody is niggas. Even the white people are niggas. Yeah, not a jealous nigga can take that away from you. It's yours because you worked for it. And God said, you shall have it because you worked for it. The same way you are willing to protect somebody else's and not take it just because you can is the same way God gonna protect yours from anybody trying to take it from you. See, you work, you get paid. And that's how I'm still standing. Because I make the right decisions for the right reasons. As much as I can, bruv. Even if I have a headache trying to make the decision. I just say, okay, let me just pause for a moment because I don't know what to do. Or I pray. But I want to make the fucking right choice because I don't want no beatings. I don't want karma to come back and slap me. I know the rules. And I don't like getting beatings. I don't like feeling a guilty conscience. I don't like feeling like I've done wrong by someone. So I try to stay away from putting myself in those type of decisions or those type of positions. Sorry. Yeah, man. That's how I live. And that's why I'm so blessed. Because blessed is the man or woman who walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. I'm a walking, living, breathing, eating, shitting testimony. It is true. It was written and it is true. Yeah. Now whatsoever I do it prospereth. Look at my shirt. I made this shirt. They don't want me to have nice clothes, so they keep money out my hand, but they didn't know I can make them. Ah! I don't wear name brand because I am the brand, bitch. I am the brand, bitch. I made my neck piece. I made my earrings. I made my shirt. They can't stop you. If you do what God said to do, they can't stop you. God will always find a way to bless you. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm a walking testimony of. Garlic, stick it up in your tooth. All now, then can't get to see their wish for me. God preserve the tooth. It's breaking away at the back. But at the front, you can't tell there's anything going on back there. That's how much God will bless you when you walk in God's way. righteousness. You say you're clean out to do it. Yeah. Right. So I want to love y'all and leave y'all. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, my lovelies. Go and be God great. Not you great. God great. Because God great is greater than you great. Okay? Do the right thing for the right reason. That's God great. And God gonna bless you beyond anybody's comprehension. God gonna make you smile from ear to ear, bro. You gonna have reason to give God thanks and glory like I do. Sometimes you just have to say thanks. What else can you say? But that's only when you're walking in Jah way. Alignment with the Most High. That is our highest achievement. It's not a boring life. Because look at me. I don't look boring one bit. And my personality isn't boring. And I'm not breaking God's laws or rules to be the kind of persona that I am. You understand? I know I set myself healthy limits. But ain't no way that I'm gonna live in this tiny box that these religions be trying to give to us and tell us, there you go, that is godliness. This tiny little matchbox, yes, that is godliness. You don't wear short pants. No, no, no. You don't wear short skirts. Oh, no, no, no. You don't wear bikini in public. Oh, no, no, no. You don't show your hair in public. Oh, no, no, no. Fuck all that. You go live that. That's not for me. If it's for you, fine. But I've checked. And God liked me too. God dresses me for my shows. God has style and pizzazz. The fuck you mean? Life is what you make it. Your relationship with God is a personal thing. Stop making people define God for you. Ask God for yourself. Let God tell you yes or no. Right. Stop make people tell you who God is and get to know God for yourself. Right. Until next time. Okay, this time with God. I love for chat. Chanel FM signing off. This time.